When I started this Faceless YouTube channel a little over a year ago and really started to focus on it over the past few months, I can honestly say that YouTube has changed my life. Here's how. If you're new to this channel, my real name is Dave, yet on here I go by my character name, Professor Cubs. And this video will be a little different than my normal ones because I mainly focus on teaching people how to use software applications along with teaching business skills, but decided to make a video where I share my YouTube journey to date because I think there are a lot of people out there that want to create a YouTube channel, either a faceless one or not, and decided it's time to give people some insight into what it's really like to run a channel like this. I broke this video into a couple different segments where I'll answer a few of the common questions people ask. And please pardon me if I tend to ramble a bit since I'll be speaking from the heart and not going off a script, so I'll do my best to stay focused. Now, before we get into things, please allow me to share my professional background. For the past 20 years, I've been a corporate trainer teaching a wide range of topics from off-the-shelf apps to proprietary applications, and learning a whole lot of various topics along the way. For example, project management, digital marketing, and a whole host of others. And to top things off, I also have prior experience in the financial industry and have worked in the stock market. All right, now that should suffice on giving you an idea of who I am, since I'm really not a fan of talking about myself, so let's move on. This channel was really never the part of any grand plan. Put another way, I didn't wake up one day with a burning desire to become a YouTuber, so this channel is something I grew into. You see, the first videos posted on this channel was an Excel training course designed for people who couldn't afford expensive Excel training courses, yet really wanted to learn Excel skills. Long story short, I created the course, uploaded it to YouTube, and that's the extent of that. You'll hear the full backstory in a bit, but for now, just know this channel is the result of some initial traction those first videos got, because in truth, I never thought many people would subscribe to a new, unestablished channel, yet I'm eternally grateful for those that have. So, once I saw the potential, decided to go all in and see what would happen. And yeah, of course, the idea of becoming monetized is enticing and the goal for any YouTuber. I'm no different, yet I didn't want to build a channel just for the sake of making money. Rather, I wanted to focus on serving people by creating videos that teach people new skills, possibly improve their lives by maybe helping them advance their career in some way, or make them more comfortable with technology. The point being is I wanted to put the viewer first and figured the rewards would come later. So why did I start a Faceless channel? Well, there's several reasons. The main one being, and as contradictory as it sounds, I'm a fiercely private person and really want to maintain my anonymity. Furthermore, it is not my style to make my channel all about me since, and this may rub some people the wrong way, I feel some creators' channels are really outlets for their own selfishness, their narcissism, and they tend to get caught up in their misplaced self-importance. Now granted, that's not true for everyone because I'm sure there are some creators out there that do not fall into that category. So put another way, one overarching goal of this channel is to serve others to the best of my ability and taking everything that I've learned and making those teachings available to everybody, free of charge. Because in the end, that's what it's all about, making sure that the viewer has improved themselves in some way before they leave. The videos you see here are just a reflection of my personality and presentation style, and this cartoon avatar is just a way to keep you engaged and entertained. When this channel first launched, I wasn't sure what to expect because of the way things came together. You see, this channel was originally dedicated to being a landing destination for the traffic from my TikTok account. The TikTok account was my first real venture into building a social media presence, and to date, the account has grown to over 107,000 followers, and just like the subscribers to this channel, I'm very grateful for them. So, long story short, as the TikTok account was growing, I decided to create an Excel training course that taught the skills that employers typically want to see in their employees and the candidates that they're interviewing. Plus, I wanted to make the course equal to or better than most paid courses that are out there, and most important, I wanted the course to be free. Reason being, I've seen so many comments online from people that are desperate to take an Excel training course, but can't afford to pay for some overhyped expensive course, and really just wanted to give them a chance to learn. And since YouTube is pretty much accessible worldwide, it seemed like the most logical place to put a course. So once a channel was set up, I made an announcement about the course over on TikTok, and much to my surprise, I was humbled to see how fast the channel grew and got to 1,000 subs. And being completely honest, at one point I did post a lot of shorts on this channel, which were repurposed videos from the TikTok account, and I'm sure that helped with subscriber growth as well. Yet, looking at the big picture of the channel, I started to think that something might be happening. So at that point, I decided to start making more long-form videos that fit the viewing habits of the people over here on YouTube. So when people launch YouTube channels, it's very easy to be discouraged when you first start, because when you take a look around and see so many established creators with these huge audiences, you often wonder how you're going to compete against them, and if it's even worth it to start a YouTube channel in the first place. But when I gave it more thought, I realized that these people aren't my competitors. Rather, the real competition is anything that keeps people from being the best version of themselves. Put another way, what I'm really competing against is the like of television shows, your Netflixes of the world, video games, social media platforms that have people doom scrolling for hours on end, and other similar distractions that in the end are just cheap dopamine hits that waste your time and your life. So that's a tough hill to climb. Stay tuned to see how it goes. As the channel slowly grew, I realized just how much effort is involved in growing a channel like this, and really started to doubt if it was even worth it to invest all this time. Mainly because there was a point where I was posting a lot of videos and they were getting practically no views. And it's no secret, and I'll admit it, the goal was to get monetized. Now, to get monetized, you have to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers and a total of 4,000 hours of watch time just to apply into the program. At that point, I was blessed to have enough subscribers, but only had about 2,000 hours of total watch time, which is nowhere near the qualifying amount. And getting that additional 2,000 hours almost seemed unattainable. I did not think it was ever going to happen. So I took a moment to reflect and really thought if it was worth it to keep going, mainly because of the time commitment and overall mental energy that running a YouTube channel requires. And in the end, decided to complete and launch a video that I was working on as a last-ditch effort just to see what would happen. Because to be honest with you, starting something is difficult, and sometimes it's even harder to walk away. And the fate of this channel was really hinging on that video. And as luck would have it, the video absolutely took off and it gained a ton of views, the watch time was off the charts, and it also gained a lot of subs. And it also catapulted the channel over the monetization requirements, and that blew me away. Plus, I was very humbled and very grateful for the results that video got, and would like to acknowledge and extend my gratitude to the people that watched it, wherever you may be. The point being, I took the performance of that video as a sign to keep going. So, what are some of the hurdles I've faced, along with some challenges, plus the ups and downs of starting and running a new Faceless YouTube channel? Well, this could very easily be its own video, yet for today, let's try to answer those questions by addressing them from a big picture perspective. In no particular order, some of the challenges that I've faced are staying motivated, how to deal with a video that flopped, feeling overwhelmed, not having great video creation skills, or the knowledge about how to even grow a YouTube channel, a self-imposed feeling of pressure and stress to be in a constant creator mode, how to avoid being typecast, and probably the biggest one, people laughing at you when you say you're going to create a YouTube channel. So let's talk about them. First, let's start with feeling overwhelmed. When this channel first launched, I had no clue on what to do, and I pieced it together as things went along. Now, whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but that is where things stand. So to get over the hurdle, I forced myself to learn as much as I can about learning how to build a YouTube channel and giving myself time to recognize that I can't learn everything all at once. So looking back at some of my older videos, you can see how things have changed from a presentation standpoint, and stylistically, you can see how the videos have changed in their editing styles, and the appearance of the thumbnails have changed over time as well. Next, how to deal with a video that flopped. Well, I gotta admit, that's a tough one to handle, mainly because you spend a lot of time researching the video, scripting it, recording it, producing, only to post it and have the video get no views, which admittedly bruises the ego. Yet I always try to learn from what works and what doesn't. So now I've gotten to the point where I just chalk it up, laugh about it, and move on. Sometimes reluctantly, but I move on. Next, not having the skills to create good videos. Now, in full disclosure, before starting this channel, I did create some video courses for clients, but they were nothing when compared to the slick editing styles you'll see in most videos. So to get over that hurdle, I watched a lot of videos about how common video effects are made and implemented the stuff I learned into some of the more recent videos. Next, let's talk about the self-imposed pressure to create videos. Something happens when you're a creator and you develop this compulsion to be in a perpetual video creation mode, almost to the point where it's unhealthy, and you begin feeling guilty because you're not creating any content. I found myself caught in this weird space of wanting to keep building the channel because I didn't want any of the previous work to evaporate, yet also recognized I had to take a break from what I was doing and spend time in other areas of my life. So to get over this hurdle, I set up some designated times for content creation, and if everything doesn't get done that day, so be it, because it's way too easy to get entangled and obsessed with this platform. So that leads to the question of how do I stay motivated? Well, seeing as how I produce everything on this channel, and I mean everything, because I don't have any editors or any assistants, so it takes a really long time to put these videos together. And some days, I have to admit, I am not too thrilled about the idea of creating another video, and all this can be a little too much. So the way I stay motivated is to use a lesson that I learned a while back, which is in order to stay motivated, you have to do the thing you don't want to do when you don't want to do it. So I embrace what I don't want to do and do it anyhow. Although I can't say I wouldn't rather be doing something else. Another hurdle that I did not foresee was being typecast by the algorithm. Now, what do I mean by that? I think one of the biggest mistakes I made in the early days of this channel was almost every video was dedicated to just Excel. And I think the algorithm decided that this channel was going to be dedicated exclusively to Excel videos. And that was not the plan. Rather, the goal of this channel was to have tutorials on a wide variety of applications, business skills, and such. So I think it's taken the algorithm a little while to figure out just what this channel is all about. And I'm okay with that, since as of late, the overall views this channel has been getting have been increasing, and that's a good sign. And probably the last and biggest hurdle I had to get over was people that are going to laugh at you. Let's be honest. When you tell people you're going to start a YouTube channel, odds are they're going to make fun of you for doing something they perceive as just flat out ridiculous. In short, they're probably going to think you're crazy. And if I can be so bold, here is the one time you want to bet on and believe in yourself. If your channel fails, so what? At least you can say you tried. Perhaps you learned some new skills, and frankly, you've probably done more than most people will ever do, so you have nothing to lose. Now that we've talked about some of the challenges, let's focus on the positive side of things and talk about how YouTube has changed my life. In no particular order, some of the benefits include I've been able to develop a deeper sense of confidence and belief in myself. I've been able to silence my detractors. I've also learned some new skills that I even wasn't aware that I was learning. I've also overcome a sense of paranoia. And now that I've learned how to build one channel that can get some traction, I can now replicate that system on other channels. Let's start off and talk about the sense of confidence and belief in myself and that sense of achievement. For example, some quick research showed that out of 51 million YouTube channels, only 10 million have over 1,000 subs, which equates to roughly 8% of all the channels out there. Or, put another way, when you reach 1,000 subs, you've beaten out 92% of all other channels, and that's no small feat. Going one step further, out of all the channels on YouTube, roughly 1.7% of them are monetized. So taking everything into consideration, when your channel reaches those two milestones, it is no small feat. And taking a moment to look back and reflect has definitely helped me develop a better sense of my capabilities. Next, I've also been able to learn some new marketable skills. When I started this channel, I really had no deep editing skills, and only through taking the time to learn how to record audio, edit video on a higher scale, and create videos that have gotten thousands of views with proof that is available to other employers who may want to hire me, that alone can garner attention and makes it all worth it. On a personal level, I also thrive on negative motivation. The more you tell me I can't do something, the more I'll do it just to prove you wrong. Put another way, when you get monetized, you silence a lot of detractors. And frankly, it takes away all their excuses. Being honest, YouTube is the great equalizer. Everyone starts at zero, and you get rewarded through your own efforts. And I'm okay with that. Another positive outcome of all this was getting over a deep sense of paranoia. Now, what I mean by this is that one of the hardest things for me to do is click the publish button, because I'm always second-guessing myself, thinking I might have missed something, or more so afraid the video might fail, or possibly having to deal with a bunch of trolls who have nothing else to do but make dumb comments. Fortunately, as of this point, people commenting on the channel have been very nice and supportive and do express gratitude for the videos that have been posted, so I really appreciate that. Another benefit is the creative side of things. Every video that I create is free from some corporate agenda and being under their control. Put another way, not having someone pull my strings and telling me what to say is very refreshing to say the least. And probably the biggest positive note is this: now that I've built one channel and monetized it, I can repeat the process and build other channels that can be monetized. Sure, this channel is still small, but the point is I can now replicate other channels using the skills that I have developed on this one, which in turn leads to developing multiple streams of income. So to wrap up this section, none of this was intended to brag or elevate myself in any way, shape, or form. Rather, it was written with the intent for you to realize that starting your own YouTube channel and growing it is very possible. And if I can be so bold, any hesitations that you have for starting one are most likely going to be self-imposed. So I'm not a big deal. I'm simply somebody who decided to start their own channel to see what would happen. Okay, so another big reason behind creating this video is I really wanted to inspire anybody who is thinking about starting their own YouTube channel. Hopefully, while you've been watching this video, you've recognized that I am nobody special and I simply just took the leap to start my own YouTube channel. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. Because behind all the ups and downs, the challenges, the frustrations, the rewards really outweigh all the hardships, especially when you find yourself being monetized and all your hard work starts to pay off and your bank account grows a little bit, and that is never a bad thing. So I want to encourage you to go ahead, take those next steps, and just start. You never know where it's going to lead. So looking at the future of this channel, yeah, I have some plans. Yet, if you want to see how it goes, feel free to subscribe and you can watch this whole thing unfold. Haha, gotcha. See what I did there? But seriously, I do have a short-term, medium-term, and long-term plan for this channel. I just don't want to bore you with all the details. So how about we start to wind things down? If you have any comments, please feel free to share them below. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll be glad to answer them to the best of my abilities. Thank you so very much, and we will see you next time.